Hey guys, Anders here, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're talking about many subjects. We're talking about the massive increase in player count for the free-to-play sessions of the game. We're talking about some very telling statements made by DICE in a recent PC Gamer interview. And we're talking about, is the game gonna make a comeback? Can it possibly make a comeback? Is it already making a comeback? Is there any chance at all? Right? Because you probably read the title and thought, Enders, are you being held hostage? Like, blink twice if you're good, bro. But no, we're fine. You know, I'm thinking about it. I'm considering options. And don't worry, guys. I'm still completely safe. Speaking about that, thank you guys so much for the crazy YouTube month. Most successful YouTube month for me ever. That kind of came out of nowhere. Was not expecting that at all. Thank you guys so much for that. And also, thank you guys for hitting 35,300 subs. As always, if you enjoy these videos, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord. I just opened my Discord subscription service. I'm going to plan on doing some movie nights, and I think the first one we're going to watch is American Psycho, because why not? You know, it's everyone's favorite comedy. Now, let's see Paul Allen's DICE interview, right? Because in this PC Gamer interview, DICE has some crazy statements where they say that the game in its current state right now is where they wanted it to be at on release. And I think that statement from DICE is very telling, because I really think that points the finger at EA. Because while we, you know, harp on DICE, and I am certainly not a stranger to harping on DICE, as longtime viewers know, I do think it would be crazy to think that nobody at DICE looked at the state they released 2042 in and thought, oh, this is going to go really, really badly. I would be willing to bet that multiple developers would absolutely delay the game if they were given the choice, but EA probably didn't let them do it. But regardless of EA allowing them to delay the game or not, you have to ask yourself the question, would 2042 have the same changes without these community feedback sessions? And I would have to say probably no. And furthermore, I would also have to say that even if 2042 released in its current state right now, I still don't think it would be successful, because look at the problems still present in the game. Mouse input is bugged. Recoil is bugged, as I recently found, and Drunksy actually recently updated us on that. Apparently it's not being fixed in the next patch. But anyway, I digress. Mouse is bugged, recoil is bugged, specialists still aren't grouped into classes, and specialists are still in the game. The base game maps, even in their overhauled states, are really, really bad, and the newer maps, while certainly better, I don't think hold a candle to some of the previous Battlefield game maps, and need I go on, right? We all know the problems with Battlefield 2042. But with this recent free-to-play stint, you have to ask yourself this, is the comeback for 2042, even a slight comeback, possible? Because you look at the free-to-play player counts, and yes, the game is free-to-play, so more people are going to try it naturally, and as a result, the player counts have obviously skyrocketed, but they've skyrocketed in a larger way than I thought they would. The Steam player count numbers, which is, I believe, the only player count numbers we can see, pretty much tripled, or at least doubled, the 24-hour peak. Which is impressive, because I was not anticipating that, and that's just for Steam. Assume that console saw a larger increase, even more than Steam did. And when you consider this, I think over all the platforms, 2042, for the first time since launch perhaps, is definitely over 6 figures player count-wise. And we'll just have to see if this keeps up, because I think DICE and EA would be dumb not to look at the increase in players from free-to-play and consider making the entire game free-to-play. I've said this multiple times. I think the game should have been free-to-play from the very beginning, just to be able to compete with Warzone and Call of Duty and all that stuff. And I think the question of whether or not Battlefield 2042 can make a comeback is more interesting now than perhaps it would have been 6 months ago. Because I think precisely about 6 or 7 months ago, there was a shift, a detectable, discernible shift in Battlefield 2042's development cycle and overall competency of updates. DICE has really kind of pulled stuff together a little bit internally. They've been more consistent with updates, they've communicated a little more effectively, and the updates they've made and the priorities that they've been focusing on have made an impact on the game. Also, people forget when they talk about Battlefield 4's comeback that it took over a year. In fact, it took probably over a year and a half to make Battlefield 4 a playable video game, even with all the content that Battlefield 4 has over Battlefield 2042. So I think DICE will actually manage to pull Battlefield 2042 back to a decent-ish player count. It will be nothing close to the player count that they should have had if the game was actually decent on release. And for some people, no matter what DICE does, they'll just never play the game. But I think even I have to acknowledge, if DICE keeps consistently updating the game, if DICE consistently keeps their priorities in line and makes good decisions, eventually you're going to get a fairly decent-ish video game, even from the absolute abhorrent piece of garbage they released last year. And another thing that I tend to forget, and I think some people might also tend to forget, is in order for the game to make a quote-unquote comeback, it doesn't have to meet my standards for a comeback, right? If the game is on the uptrend, there's nothing I can do to stop the game being on an uptrend. You know what I mean? Even if I'm making all these points like, okay, the game's never going to truly be a Battlefield game, they'll never fix this, they'll never fix that. If the game is still on an uptrend, then the game is still on an uptrend, and that's the reality of the situation. So all DICE has to really do is continue to be consistent with the updates, continue to have decent priorities, and we'll see where the game is a year from now. Or even sooner than that, maybe even a couple months from now when they release the class update. I think that will restore some of the lost Battlefield essence to Battlefield 2042, and we'll see how opinion shifts on the game when that update comes out. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and comment down below. What do you think? I want to read your thoughts on this, okay? I want paragraphs in the comment section. If you think I don't read them just because I don't give you a heart, you'd be mistaken, okay? Sometimes I don't give paragraphs hearts because I'm lazy, and that's reality. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, join the Discord, follow me on Twitch, first link in the description. I stream every single day of my life, and I might be starting to do some Discord events. I'm going to do some Discord exclusive giveaways, and I enabled Discord subscriptions for people that want to support the Discord, gain access to member-only events and stuff like that. So join the Discord, and it should be up in the upper left-hand corner, and you can make the decision whether or not you are interested in that. It does directly support me, and I'll see you guys later.